Many of you know that I have recently written a book. It's my 19th book called Know Your No. I'm appreciative of those who do have it. And if you don't have it, I hope you do go get it. But when I think about the book, the core tenor of the message, yes, it's about boundaries, but really it speaks to emotional intelligence and emotional regulation. You cannot set boundaries with anybody else until you place boundaries around your emotions. And for many of us, the emotions that we experience have us in a conundrum. We are having, we are an emotional wreck simply because of the damage that people have inflicted upon you or the damage that you have experienced that you have not healed from. I need you to hear me. Healing is vital. Healing looks good on you. You owe it to you to be healed. I don't know who I'm talking to, but I hope I'm talking to you. You owe it to you to be healed. You owe it to you to not inflict wreckage and damage on other people simply because of your own fears, your own frailties, your own frustrations, your own lack of self esteem, the things that you're dealing with in your childhood. Because here it is, you're going to bleed on people who didn't cut you. And guess what? They don't deserve that. Hear me. You don't even deserve that. Time for you to channel your emotions. And here's the thing. What I realize, you will never truly be successful with anything in life until you're first successful with yourself. Until you're successful with how you manage your emotions. The best way to manage your emotions is for you to get really clear on what you need to let go of, on who it is that you need to become, on why it is that you're not there yet, on what it is that really is frustrating you. Here it is. It's really not people. It's you as a person. It's you as a person. It's your patterns that you have adopted. Because it's like the boy who cried wolf. I don't know if you know that story. The boy who cried wolf. He was playing around. The boy who cried wolf, he just wanted attention. The boy who cried wolf, he just wanted, people to see him as a victim. But here's the thing. Eventually, people kept coming to his rescue. And after a while, continually crying wolf, there came a time where there actually was a wolf. And people were hearing him cry out and all this other stuff. And they're saying, oh, he must be joking. He must be playing. He must be acting like a victim again. And sadly, but surely enough, he became a victim. Because it came a time that he wasn't really playing. You have to look at your particular life. Are you the person who keeps acting like you're a victim when you're really a perpetrator? Are you actually the boy or the girl who keeps crying wolf? Yeah, I know you may be a man, but are you really a boy? Is there a boy really trapped inside of you that hasn't grown through what it is that you're going through? Yeah, I know you may be a woman classified, or you have the physique, or you're at a particular age, and at a particular age, but you're not at a particular stage. because there's still a hurting, wounded girl in you. Whether it's due to mother wounds, whether it's due to father wounds, whether it's not having what society says that you should have, whether it's not having the particular type of money, whether it's not being married, whether it's not having children, whether it's not having the house, the home, and a white picket fence, whether it's not having what everybody says that you should have to be successful. Whose standard are you living up to? Are you living up to the world standard? Are you living trying to keep up with the Joneses? Or are you actually tapping into and leaning into your own originality and your own authenticity? It's worth it to know that you're worth it. Come on. The healing that you know you need to have is worth it. The counseling and the therapy that you know you need is worth it. You shunned it enough. How many more books do you have to read? How many more seminars do you have to go to? How many more positive affirmations? How many more times do you have to keep posturing as if you're a positive individual, but internally your mind is negative? You owe it to you to get the freedom that you need. Here it is. The freedom that you need, your husband's dependent on it. The freedom that you need, your wife is dependent on it. The freedom that you really, really need, your children are dependent on it. The freedom that you really need, your future is dependent on it. Listen, I know they may have hurt you. I know it. I know it. But here it is. It's your responsibility to heal. It's your responsibility to heal. And when you really heal, when you move into a place of ownership, taking on the onus of responsibility, here's what you do now. You now stop responding to people who aren't calling you by your name. You stop responding to people who are calling you outside of your name. You stop responding to what does not apply to you. Here's what I was taught even as a kid. Only a hit dog is going to holler. Throw a rock in the crowd. The one who yells ouch is the one who got hit. Why are you allowing the past to continually hit you? Why are you allowing patterns to continually hit you? Why are you allowing the perceptions of other people who are probably not even thinking about you anyway to continually hit you? But here's the problem. When you take everything personally, you never live responsibly. Let me say it again. When you take everything personally, and 99% of it doesn't even apply to you, you live your life irresponsibly. When we ought to be living in a particular place that moves us from a particular paradigm pragmatically, lovingly, courageously, authentically. You owe it to you. You owe it to you. Come on now. How many more years are you going to let go by being who it is that you are and being how it is that you are? It's time for you to set the boundary. Come on, when negative thoughts come to your mind, it's time for you to set the boundary. Stop allowing people's opinions to become your prison. Stop going out of business because you're in everybody else's business. When you start living responsibly, when you start living authentically, when you start living from a particular place of emotional intelligence, then you won't operate in ignorance. Let me say it again. When you start living from a place of emotional intelligence, you'll stop operating in ignorance. You're too old to be operating in ignorance. You're too old to be having emotional meltdowns. You're too old to be acting like a high school dude or a high school girl. Come on, you too old to be acting like a victim when you're really a perpetrator. You too old to be acting like that. Now is the time to grow up. And you'll never really go up until you grow up. I don't know who I'm talking to, but hopefully I'm talking to you. This is, listen, hard pill to swallow. Hard truth alert, as we always say, HTA, hard truth alert. But here's the thing. Before you ever say no, your no to everybody else, you got to first say no, your no to you. What is your no? You got to shift your mindset. Shift your mindset. How many people you going to keep listening to online? How many services you going to keep going to? How many seminars you going to keep going to? And you're still the same old way? You still haven't changed? You still think negatively? You still act out of rage? You still blame people for things that they have not done to you? You still have not set any boundaries. Here's what I love about scripture. It says, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God. There it is, imaginations. That's the problem. The imagination is off. You don't imagine that which is good. You don't imagine creativity and imagine ingenuity. You're imagining things that need to be cast down, but here it is. They're continually lifted up in your mind. You put it into a particular place to where it's high. Casting down imaginations, every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God. If it's higher than God, it's too high. See, you've got the imagination of low self-esteem so high. Low self-esteem, why is it high? How nobody likes you, why is it high? How you think everybody is coming at you and nobody cares about you, and how now you want to purport yourself as a victim. Why is it high? Cast it down. Here's what you got to do. You got to start reminding you what God says about you. Come on, listen. I'm talking to you. You know I'm talking to you. You're watching. Yes. I want you to start going into the mirror and seeing yourself clear. Come on. I want you to go into that mirror and crown yourself. Come on. Tell yourself that you're valuable. Tell yourself that you're loved. Tell yourself that peace is going to reside inside of you. Tell yourself that you are a person of peace. Come on now. Tell yourself that you're going to handle yourself with care. Tell yourself that you're emotionally intelligent. Tell yourself that you have emotional regulation. Tell yourself how you feel is not always real. Tell yourself that you're going to get control over your feelings. You're going to master your mind. You're going to master your emotions. Tell yourself that. And here's the thing. You're going to be tested because you're going to have things that are going to trigger you. You're going to have trauma that tries to trip you up. Let me say that again. You're going to have trauma that tries to trip you up. And here's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to remind you of what God says about you. You're going to have to remind you of what you said about you. That's why we're talking today about overcoming the battle to find breakthrough. That's why we're talking today about tripping over trauma. Because here's the thing. We keep avoiding truth and tripping over trauma. Tripping over trauma so that you can find the truth about you. Do you know who you are? Do you know where you're going? Who are the kind of people that you want coming with you? Are you pushing those type of individuals away due to your own trauma? Due to your own emotional trauma, because you're an emotional wreck. And so here's the thing. When you're an emotional wreck, you want to wreck everything else around you. But here's what the song said. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Because before you ever wreck anybody else, you're always wrecking you. Time for you to rectify the greatness internally. Listen, I see greatness in you. I really do. I see greatness in you, but I want you to discover it too. I see value in you, But I want you to see it. Just because somebody dropped you, just because other people hurt you, because of how you mishandled your own life, just because of the mishaps, the missteps, the mistakes of what it is that you did to you, doesn't mean that has to be the lot of your life. Better is coming. Believe it. Walk in it. Step in it. Act like it. You owe it to you to receive it and to embrace it. Let me read a little something from my latest book, Know You Know. Yeah, how to build healthy boundaries and love without losing yourself. If you don't have the book, go get it. Go get it. It's on Amazon as an ebook. It's on Amazon as a paperback copy. You can also get signed copies at my website, EddieConnor.com, EddieConnor.com /Know You Know. Let me read this. It says, get off the seesaw and roller coaster of people's emotions. They are up today and down tomorrow, which makes them as fickle as Michigan weather. If you lived in the state of Michigan, then you understand what I'm talking about. You don't know if a storm is brewing or sunshine is coming on a cloudy day. How often do you find yourself dressing your mind for the emotional weather storm that people have subjected you to? You find yourself wearing a coat and shorts because they're hot and cold. Their hot and cold attitude goes where the wind blows. You find yourself trying to gauge their mood because you don't know how they will feel on any given day. You're wearing a snowsuit and flip-flops due to the flip-flopping that people are emotionally engaged in. You're ready for whatever weather and whatever time they're on, you're on. You find yourself trying to tightrope people's emotions and seek out their emotional weather report. You're asking questions like, will their attitude and personality feel as warm as Antigua or as frigid as Antarctica? See, the point that life is not Cedar Point. Life is not Disneyland or Six Flags. You have to make a decision to get off the emotional roller coaster. Yeah, the reality is that difficult people can project what is happening in them onto you, and they will continue to if you allow them to. Folks are stressed out, but they want you to feel their wrath. Not going to happen. Not going to happen over there. Sure enough, not going to happen over here. I know my no. I know who to know. And I also know who to know. That's for sure. The best way to deal with those type of individuals is to not deal with them at all. Silence is even going to be the greatest violence to keep them at bay. I want you to go ahead and get my book, Know You Know, How to Build Healthy Boundaries and Love Without Losing Yourself. Yes, yes, yes. Go get it. Amazon. You can also get signed copies on my website, EddieConnor.com /Know Your Know. I know this was empowering for you. It's real talk. I don't pull no punches. I keep it 100. I say what needs to be said in a very, very respectful way, not in a nice way, but definitely in a kind way. That's how it is. That's how I am. Because I know my no. Start with us into our amazing Eagles community, theeaglesacademy.com, where it is that I empower you to grow into greater success and purpose, the content, the camaraderie, the connectivity, the community. You owe it to you to be a part of it. Go right now to theeaglesacademy.com, theeaglesacademy.com. When you get there, tap the Join Now button, fill out the form. I guarantee you will be transformed. Hit that thumbs up button. Hit the like button on this video. If you were empowered by anything that I said, listen, I want you to sow into what it is that you've heard. Drop a donation. Cash App, $Dr. Eddie Ministries, Dr. Eddie Ministries, PayPal, info at EddieConnor, and then also on Zelle, EddieConnorJr at gmail.com, EddieConnorJr. That's also my social media handle for Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We don't stop. Connect with me there. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button. Your support helps this channel to grow. It's yours truly, Dr. Eddie, your main man, 100 grand, your brother. And I mean that from another mother. Family, it's been fun, but brother, got to run. So I want you to know it's been a privilege and a pleasure, a treat and a treasure, a joy beyond measure. But I want you, that's right, I'm talking to you. Yes, you. To remember to keep the faith and believe it's going to be bigger, better, brighter, peace, and a whole lot of love. That's right. Keep soaring higher. 19th book is everywhere. I want you to go ahead and get your hands on my new book, Know Your No. It's all about how to build healthy boundaries and love without losing yourself. Boundaries are not limitations. Boundaries are for liberation. You're going to find a way to unbox yourself. You're going to find a way to really love yourself and to move into a place of emotional regulation, to stand your ground, to draw a line in the sand, stand 10 toes down on it. Don't do the electric slide. Don't moonwalk away from it, but really stand wholeheartedly down on what it is that you say. It's for your protection. It's for your self-care. Moves you into a greater place of self-awareness and emotional regulation and developing your mental health and creating boundaries so that you can abound to a new and a greater level. Go right now to get a signed copy at EddieConnor.com. EddieConnor.com. And then, of course, you can also get it on Amazon. Go and get the book right now.